Ah, yes, Kansei, here we are, in Hyjal. It is our time to shine. Yes, Sir Wags, finally it is time. Now only if we had the boots drop out of Tempest Keep. I love this place, though. Consecrate does work here. Oh, yes, yes. Finally, I can pass up those stupid hunters in DPS. Excuse me, but according to Icy Veins, I am supposed to volley here. It's really good AoE. Oh no, we can't have this hunter out DPSing us. Holy hardballs and raised piss jugs, let's go! Oh, 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 I am arriving! Gnome is good. I hate this place. Guys, welcome to the Hyjal Wave 1 and Wave 2 Trash Guide. This is the Trash Guide before Boss 1 and Boss 2. We're going to do another Hyjal Trash Guide for Boss 3, before Boss 3 and Boss 4, since it's in a different location and the trash is also a little bit different. So let's get to it real quick, and so you don't have to watch for too long. We'll go over the mobs and their abilities first before we go into the strategy. Okay. First up, let's talk about these ghouls. They're super easy. They're kind of just cannon fodder. They do a frenzy, so if you do have a pack of 8 of them or 10 of them, you don't necessarily want them all on the same tank, but it's not really that big of a deal. Other than that, when they get low health, they start to cannibalize to regenerate health if there is another corpse nearby. So when they get low health, we just want to make sure we finish them off real quick. No problem at all. Second one here is the Abominations. They have a disease cloud here, which we want to watch out for. Just an AoE. I think it's 6 yards, 4 to 6 yards. I'm not sure. Not the biggest of deals unless there are 3 to 4 A-bombs up at the same time. Then we want to watch it, but we probably won't have that scenario too often with the way we're going to be doing it. We might have them split up, or by the time the melee will join us to kill the A-bombs, the casters will have 1 or 2 dead already, so that disease cloud shouldn't be a big deal. And Jay can just chain heal. But they do have another ability here, Knockdown, that is very dangerous, just because it's going to be a 2-second stun on the tanks, so obviously they have no avoidance when they're knocked down. So this can lead to a lot of tank deaths, so we want to watch out for that. We'll probably be popping some free action potions, perhaps for some of the more dangerous pulls with Abominations. The other mobs that we want to talk about here is these spider guys. They shoot you with scarabs. They're just kill them. They're stupid. The next one is these necromancers here. They have a single target nuke, Shadow Bolt. It doesn't hit that hard. Even like non-tank melee can tank it decently well if they're just getting heals. It's not really a big deal. The thing that we do want to look out for is this Raise Dead. They can either summon one skeletal mage, or they can also summon a melee skeleton as well, one of the two. When they pop up, we just deal with them. It's not a big deal, but hopefully we can kill them fast enough where not too many of these are actually summoned. The next mob we'll talk about here is the Banshee, of course. They have 3 abilities. One, again, is their nuke, shadow damage nuke. The second one is a curse, which reduces your chance to hit by 66% for 5 minutes. So we got druids and we got mages decursing. This is very high importance to decurse, especially on our big AoE casters and cleavers. You don't necessarily have to decurse if they're on the healers. Healers are last prio, but tanks first prio, then DPS. Healers last prio, or just even leave it up on them. The last one is the anti-magic shell. Which lasts for 30 seconds, and it absorbs 200,000 magic damage. So it's not really effective to. It's neither effective to eat through it or just wait out the 30 seconds. So mostly it's going to be melee, just smoking these. One thing that's very important to note is that when they actually come in with the waves, they don't have the anti-magic shell on. So casters can nuke, 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 nuke until the Banshees put the anti-magic shell up. Again, if we have like prop paladins or somebody tanking this thing, they should have enough threat before they put the anti-magic shell on there. But if they don't somehow, they don't hit that hard. Probably a Fury Warrior could probably easily tank one of these. No big deal when they're getting some heals. Okay, so that's it for trash. This is all the trash that's coming in the Phase 1 and Phase 2 before Boss 1 and Boss 2. So let's go for our strategies. Now, there's going to be two different kinds of strategies for dealing with these trash waves. One is a strategy that's a lot quicker, but it does require your tanks to have a little bit more gear on them and the healers to have a little bit more mana efficiency. We might try this week 1. If it's a little bit too much to handle week 1 because just the tanks are just don't have enough gear yet, we'll probably go back to it week 3. By that time, the paladins have a couple of pieces of tier 6 and such like that. And then we'll do it that way. So we'll also go over a second strategy as well for the trash that we might use during week 1 and week 2, while we are still gearing out our tanks. But let's go over the first strategy here. Actually, yeah, let's talk about the waves first before we do that. Before Rage Winter Chill, we have 8 waves. Before Anetheron, I don't know. There's also 8 waves. We'll go over them all, and then we'll highlight the ones that are going to be, that I think will be the most difficult or the most likely of like a tank death or something, or a DPS pulling in death after that. So first wave is just 10 ghouls, really no big deal. Just group them up, AoE them down. Second wave, 10 ghouls, 2 crit fiends, same thing again. Just group them up, AoE them down, no big deal. Third wave, 6 ghouls, 6 crit fiends, again, zero deal. Group them up, AoE them down. Fourth wave, 6 ghouls, 4 crit fiends, and 2 necromancers. This is where our necromancers are at. Again, not really a big deal. Just group them up and AoE them down, except everybody who is single target or cleave DPS will be focusing the 2 necromancers as their main targets. Somebody like a warlock or a mage, you don't necessarily need to. Again, you can just spam AoE. It's not a big deal. But anything like a warrior with cleave, you're going to want to cleave off the necromancers. And that's where our warrior tank or a druid will come in behind and actually taunt and tank the 2 stuff, while the paladin tanks are tanking all the rest for the AoE threat. But again, really not big of a deal since there's only 2 of these mobs. Fifth wave, 2 ghouls, 6 crypt fiends, 4 necromancers. Exactly the same as wave 4, except instead of 2, there's 4. But we deal with it the same way. Wave 6, 6 ghouls and 6 abominations. This is the first of the hard wave, so we'll go over it later. 7, 4 ghouls, 4 necromancers, 4 abominations. I don't actually think this one is, wave 7 is as hard as wave 6, but it is another one that we want to watch out for. And wave 8, 6 ghouls, 4 crypt fiends, 2 abominations, and 2 necromancers. Again, this one is actually easier than wave 6 and 7 in my opinion. Before Anatheron, 10 ghouls, easy. 8 ghouls, 4 abominations, pretty easy. Just make sure one tank is not tanking all the abominations and ghouls, just in case the knockdown. This is where we're going to want to use a FAP probably. 4 ghouls, 4 crypt fiends, 4 necromancers, no problem, super easy. Again, same principle. AoE and people who are single target or cleave, just single target and cleave off of the necromancers. Wave 4. 4 necromancers, 6 crypt fiends, and 2 banshees. This is our first banshees. They come into play. Again, what we're going to do here is we are going to actually just AoE and focus down the necromancers first. The reason is we just don't want the ads. We can deal with decursing a lot easier than we can deal with extra ads from the necromancers, so not a big deal. So again, once again, AoE everything, but single target and cleave focus off the necromancers, with the warriors and the druids coming in behind to taunt and tank these and marking skulls for kill targets. Next one, 6 skulls, 2 necromancers, and 4 banshees. Really kind of the same thing. Exactly. Next one, 6 skulls, 2 A-bombs, 4 necromancers. basically the same thing again. We'll probably just stack all of these on the Necromancers to AoE them, because 2 Abomination Poison Clouds probably is not that big of a deal for our melee. But if it is, well, we'll have to see. Next one, 4 Crypt Fiends, 4 Abominations, 4 Banshees, 2 Ghouls. This is another one that's going to be difficult. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And then last one here, 3 Ghouls, 4 Abominations, 3 Crypt Fiends, 2 Banshees, and 2 Necromancers. This one is a little bit difficult just because you have all the things that you have to deal with. You have the 4 A-Bombs. Ghouls and Crypt Fiends are no problem, but you do have the 2 Banshees and the 2 Necromancers. So probably, again, Necromancers first, deal with the D-Curses, and we might do these ones. So again, we want to make sure Wave 6 before Rage Winter Chill and Wave 7 before Rage Winter Chill is dealt with appropriately, and kind of the last 2 waves here before Anatheron are dealt with appropriately. Okay, so now we go into our strategy. This is strategy number 1, where we might try it week 1, and if we can't quite pull it off, we'll come back to this strategy a little bbit later, maybe week 3, like I said, when the Prot Paladins and Prot Warrior / Druid have a little bit more gear, which should be fine. Okay, so there's no map here because it's not really important where the map is, but this orange circle just designates the spawn point. Okay, mobs are actually spawning in when they spawn into waves. So once we figure out where that spawn point is, basically we stack the entire raid there. And one person is all the way back at Jaina and talks to Jaina to start it, and basically the mobs spawn. As soon as the mobs spawn, we have 2 Consecrates from our 2 Prot Paladins here. On the easy waves, like waves 1, 2, and 3 before the first boss, we just keep them there, and we just AoE them down as directly where they spawn. No big deal. Meanwhile, our lone person that talked to Jaina is slowly making their way back to us. Probably a healer, because we won't need that extra healer for wave 1 and 2. So any of the really easy waves we're going to do like this. The first 3 waves probably before the first 3 waves of each boss's rotation. Anytime we actually have a difficult wave where we want to use some chains here. So for example, any wave like we had here with the 6 Abominations, or maybe 4 Abominations, right? Anything with a large amount of Abominations that we want to shackle. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. We are going to continue to be here, and as soon as they spawn, boom, we hit them with the old sapper. We do not hit them with the consecrate. The reason for that is we do not want the A-bombs to be in a AoE, so they cannot be shackled. Okay, we want them to be able to be shackled. So the Prot Paladins or any tanks the Prot Paladins. Okay, hit them with the sapper. Okay, once the Prot Paladins hit them with the sapper, they go this way. Okay, and they kite this way. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, before each wave, all 4 Hunter traps are down here. All frost traps. Okay, and maybe we'll have some improved blizzards in the first couple of weeks as well. Okay, so hit the sapper. All of the traps spawn. They're all slowed. The paladins go this way. Okay, now the mobs that are less dangerous, but we have a higher kill order on, which are the necromancers, they will start casting at the paladin. So they won't actually run up on them. So they're going to stay right here. That's where warrior comes in from the side, druid comes in from the side, and taunts them and starts tanking them. Meanwhile, all the A-bombs are following the paladins, and they get shackle, 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 or however many shackles we want to use. And then any other A-bombs that don't get shackled, we're just tanking with the consecrate out here. Everything is mopped up here. And then the raid moves on to kill these, and then we break the shackles, and we get ready for the next pull. And that's how we're going to deal with those. Okay. Other than that, if there is a lot of kind of damage, even if there's not a lot of A-bombs, or if we don't want to shackle because there's only 2 A-bombs, or we think we can get away without shackling 4 A-bombs, then we just want to make sure our Prot Paladins and any tanks that are kiting the A-bombs are kiting them around the Frost Trap or the Improved Blizzard, not taking a lot of damage. That is strategy 1. Rinse and repeat, and basically, I don't know, maybe this is a dick here. That was unintentional. I apologize, guys. I know this is a family-friendly server on ATS. That's how you do it. And you might have to deal with a few of the waves a little bit more strenuously, but mostly it's going to be pretty easy. Now, second strategy, if we cannot do that one because we have tank deaths or what's going on week 1 and week 2, we'll come back to it. We might want to do it a little bit differently during week 1 and 2. And the way we do that differently is we're going to be here near the Alliance base. Obviously, we have our prop paladin buddies here. I'm not sure why Caper chose human, but you know, he did. That's all right. It's fine. And what happens is, for most of the trash that we don't hunt to shackle anything, we just, Caper puts the Consecrate down here, he throws the Avenger Shield easy, pew, 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 okay, and then he just LOSs right here. That way, all of the ads go to him, and they can't cast on him because he's LOS, so they follow him here. This is where the second prop paladin, me, is going to be sitting here, and I'll cast a Holy Wrath and then Consecrate and maybe Taunt off of Caper, just so we have an equal amount of ops, and then we just AO him down. When we have a pull that we want to CC, so for example, the 6 Abomination pull, right? This is what we're going to do. We're going to keep the paladin here. As soon as they're coming, okay, Caper is going to throw down the Consecrate, hit him with the Avenger Shield, and then run this way. That way, everything that runs through the Avenger Shield will be running towards Caper with threat. Our priests, in this scenario, will be standing up here, and they're just going to, after they go through the shackle and are out, they will shackle, shackle, and shackle before the rest of the melee get to the kill zone, which is here, where then the paladins will put their Consecrate down. And once again, the warriors and druids will come in from behind and smack down the casters. So the necromancers. Okay, and our melee will focus on the necromancers. Maybe casters will start AoEing. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Other than that, that is our 2 strategy guide for before boss 1 and before boss 2 of Mount Hyjal. Stay tuned next. We'll be going over our lovely friend here, Rage Winterchill. After that, we'll be doing a little Anatheron, and then we'll be talking about Wave 3 and Wave 4 of the trash before boss 3 and boss 4. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And I will see you next time.